It is February the 15th of 2026, and I posted several things today. One was self-acceptance is still your challenge, and that would be for all of us. We don't know who we're going to become, and we're always accepting ourselves every moment, every day. And sometimes that can be a little challenging because we all come into the world to become something different, someone new, and to offer something new to our world. And we happen to be living at a time where we're experiencing a lot of division and confusion and what seems like chaos. And when you can't own yourself during those times, things don't go well in your life. And I've been doing that a bit. And so I am changing that today. My name is Roger Burnley, and I've been a channel for Wilhelm since 1989. Wilhelm is a collective consciousness, universal consciousness, as I call it, that I began receiving in 1989, and I didn't tell anyone. I told few people. I kept it to myself because it was automatic writing. Now, I knew that I had made a connection to a source greater than what I could have ever known, and I did it because I was seeking help, just as we all do. I didn't know what it was going to become, however. And in my hiding for so many years, it did get exposed, and so most of it started to be published in 2008. And now it's 2026, 18-year cycle. We move through 18-year cycles in our civilization in many different ways that we start to figure out. I had no idea this was happening, though. So after I published those things today, I was sitting here and I was told very clearly, now go to February 16th. And then I started writing, none of you could have seen or known this was coming. And that means we can't know who we're becoming, and it kind of shows up. And then we have to become willing to embrace it. And that was difficult for me, and maybe you as well, because you're becoming something different and someone who no one else is seeing. And so we're always trying to find that guidance. We evolve in our consciousness, individually and also collectively. None of us comes to the world knowing everything or anything, and consciousness is never complete in terms of the way that we form it. And I did something very different and unique. And I struggled most of my life to accept this. And I struggled most of my life for many other reasons. And part of it was not being able to accept it. And I've struggled financially because of that as well, which is why I knew that I had to change. I didn't know it was going to happen like this, though, because when I sat down and followed the instruction, put together the messages, it was a clear trajectory of what was happening. And earlier in the day, I had done that with artificial intelligence with some of the other messages, and they kept verifying this is a curriculum. This is a consciousness-raising curriculum. And I've talked about this before because we haven't seen this. No one in history had done this in quite this way. I was never even going to be a channel, or like many others that have done this work, until 2021, when I was told that I must, because I had received so much information and there was so much that Wilhelm wanted to tell everyone. And then they had me use this title because, see, that title, We Gave You a Pathway to the Fifth Dimension, that was published in 2023. But I wasn't accepting it, and if anyone would have read it, you probably wouldn't have either. But it'll be difficult for you to read the messages and also hear the channeling session that was done in 2024 and not come to a greater understanding. I received things in a direct order of what was occurring and the consciousness shifting and in our world, and also the energetic changes, galactic, astrological, and I've never studied any of those things. Then I discovered that I was a savant. That was something that I had to take some time to accept because it was why I was not fitting in with everyone else. And we're never really supposed to fit in. We're supposed to become ourselves. And so now I have to take that journey and accept myself because that's what I want for all others. Since a child, I always wanted to see a better world. Couldn't tell you why that was within me, but it was. And now I know that that's possible. And you will know it as well as you read these messages, as you go through them. And I also put in some reflection questions because that's what we always have to do, is take in information and question ourselves and see if we find some truth in it, because the truth that you will find will be in your consciousness. It's never anything that I'm saying or what I receive from Wilhelm. It'll just be if it stimulates some awareness within you. But I do know that this work will do that for anyone, because that's what's happened with this work so far. Now I must truly commit. We're at a time where owning ourselves is going to be the most important and valuable thing that we can do, and that means remembering who we are. And we can't expect others to do it for us, so we have to do it. Enjoy this information, and please view all of Wilhelm's work, and you will understand exactly what I mean. Thank you so much for being here. Please share this with others. I want more people to know what is possible for all of us. I'll see you soon.